Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and smash the like button because what I'm about to reveal could completely change the way you approach relationships, especially with younger women. I need you to pay close attention because most men are missing this, and it's why they stay stuck, frustrated, and invisible while others succeed effortlessly. Let's start with a truth most men never hear. Younger women are not just attracted to youth or looks. They are drawn to experience, confidence, and a subtle sense of mastery that only comes with age. But here's the catch. Only about 2% of older men actually understand how to harness this without coming across as desperate, overbearing, or predictable. Most older men make the mistake of trying to mimic younger men, thinking that being fun or spontaneous is enough. It's not. Younger women crave stability combined with excitement, a paradox that most men fail to balance. I want you to imagine walking into a room and immediately commanding attention. Not by shouting, not by showing off your wealth, but through an energy that signals you've lived, you've learned, and you know exactly who you are. That energy is magnetic. Younger women can feel it instinctively, even if they can't explain why. And it's not arrogance, it's a quiet power, a confidence that says you are comfortable in your own skin and in your choices. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. Most men sabotage this without even realizing it. They overcompensate. They try too hard to prove themselves. They chase validation instead of radiating it. And when they do this, younger women sense it immediately. It's like a silent alarm. She knows you're trying, and that kills attraction instantly. But the 2%, they understand subtlety. They know how to lead conversations without dominating, how to flirt without forcing, and how to create tension that makes a younger woman's heart race without saying a single word that screams, "I need you." By the end of this video, you're going to see exactly what these men are doing differently, why it works, and how you can start applying it immediately. This isn't theory. It's psychology, chemistry, and behavioral science packaged into real-world strategies that get results. And once you internalize this, younger women won't just notice you, they'll seek you out. Let's be brutally honest. Most older men fail with younger women not because they lack options, but because they misunderstand attraction. They approach dating like it's a transaction, a checklist of looks, status, or money. That's the exact opposite of what draws younger women. Attraction, especially in age gap relationships, is about psychological tension, subtle dominance, and the unspoken reassurance that comes from life experience. It's not about controlling her, it's about leading her emotionally without her realizing it. Here's a key insight that will shift your perspective immediately. Younger women are drawn to men who make them feel alive, challenged, and understood at the same time. Most men think they have to be cool or funny to achieve this, but the real power is in restraint, observation, and timing. A pause in the right moment, a thoughtful question, or a silent gesture can create more attraction than hours of forced conversation. This is the art that only a small percentage of older men master. Think about it. What younger men offer is energy and impulsiveness. What older men can offer, if they understand the psychology, is grounded confidence, the ability to create emotional highs and lows without drama, and a magnetic sense of security. That contrast is irresistible. But here's the subtle trap. If you over-explain, over-exert, or overcompensate for your age, you destroy it instantly. She notices insecurity more than you think. In fact, the more you try to act young, the less attractive you become. So how do you flip this? You focus on 3 pillars: presence, unpredictability, and authority. Not in a dominating sense, but in the way you carry yourself, the way you respond, and the way you make her feel in your presence. A younger woman will subconsciously measure you against the energy she's used to from her peers. And if you can exceed it without appearing flashy or desperate, you instantly enter the top 2% that she can't resist. And this is where most men get it completely wrong. They rely on external factors instead of internal mastery. They think attraction is something to win instead of something to radiate. But here's the truth. It's your mindset, your demeanor, and the subtle cues you send that determine if she sees you as desirable, intriguing, or just another older man trying too hard. Once you grasp this, you start operating on an entirely different level. She notices your calm, your control, your life experience, and that is far more alluring than anything you could buy or fake. Now let's get into the behaviors that separate the average older man from the rare 2% that younger women are instinctively drawn to. This isn't about flashy gestures, expensive gifts, or trying to prove your vitality. It's about subtle cues, micro actions, and a presence that communicates value without words. The truth is, women feel first. They sense security, confidence, and experience before they even consciously register what's attractive. One of the most overlooked aspects is emotional composure. Younger women are wired to test men, often unconsciously, through teasing, challenges, or even subtle pushback. The average man reacts, defends, or tries to impress, and in that moment, attraction dies. The rare older man doesn't react. He observes, he smiles, he pauses. That pause, that calm, sends a signal. I am in control of myself and this moment. I am not chasing approval. That is magnetic. That is irresistible. Another key behavior is the art of selective attention. This is not giving constant validation, but showing her that your attention is earned. When a younger woman realizes that her energy does not automatically command yours, curiosity spikes. She begins to invest more in earning your focus, which creates an unconscious pull. It's subtle, almost invisible, but it triggers a psychological pattern that younger women crave, a dance of interest and intrigue. Then there's the energy of storytelling. Older men who succeed with younger women often share moments of life experience in ways that feel effortless. They don't brag, they reveal wisdom, lessons learned, and perspective in short, emotionally resonant stories. This communicates depth without arrogance. Younger women pick up on it immediately. They feel that there's a world in you they can't touch but want to explore. Physical presence also matters. Posture, movement, and micro-expressions send signals that words cannot. You can sit in a room without saying a word and have her attention locked simply by the way you occupy space. Relaxed, deliberate, and aware. Younger women are highly sensitive to these cues, even if they cannot articulate why they feel drawn to you. Finally, there's the unspoken boundary. Older men who succeed know when to withdraw, when to tease, and when to leave a gap for tension to build. They never over-explain, never over-text, never over-commit. That gap creates desire. Most men fill silence with noise, but the top 2% create attraction in the quiet moments. She notices, she feels it, and she cannot resist engaging further. Now, let's talk about mindset. The invisible force that amplifies every behavior and makes younger women gravitate towards certain older men. Without this mindset, no amount of charm, status, or appearance can produce consistent attraction. Most men approach dating with a scarcity mentality, constantly seeking validation, fearing rejection, and measuring their worth through her attention. That energy is toxic. Younger women sense it instantly, and it kills desire faster than anything else. The mindset of the top 2% of older men is radically different. They operate from abundance, self-possession, and clarity of purpose. They understand that attraction is not something to beg for, it's something to cultivate internally. They know that their value does not rise or fall based on a single interaction. And because of this, they emit a subtle but powerful aura of stability and confidence that younger women instinctively find irresistible. Here's the psychological nuance most men miss. Women, especially younger women, are drawn to men who provide both challenge and security. They want someone who can keep up with their energy, spark curiosity, and guide experiences, all while remaining anchored and grounded. This combination creates a subconscious thrill. She's intrigued, excited, and yet emotionally safe at the same time. It's a dynamic most men completely misunderstand, trying to provide fun without structure or security without charisma. Another crucial element is detachment. This doesn't mean coldness or lack of interest. It means not attaching your self-worth to her reactions. When an older man demonstrates that he's fully content in his life and his identity, he becomes magnetic. He's not needy, he's not trying to impress, and that's the paradox. By showing he doesn't need her, he becomes the man she wants. It's the ultimate form of psychological pull, where desire is generated without a single forced word. This mindset also allows for authentic leadership in the relationship. Women subconsciously look for men who can lead emotionally without dominating, who can make decisions calmly and confidently, and who communicate boundaries clearly. When you adopt this mentality, younger women feel drawn to you naturally. They sense your power, your direction, and your composure, and they respond emotionally in ways that younger men rarely achieve. Finally, understand that this is a long-game strategy. It's not about immediate results or instant gratification. The rare older man invests in himself, in his presence, and in his internal mastery. The rewards are subtle at first, but they compound. She notices, she invests emotionally, and she begins to value the depth and stability you bring. And once she does, attraction becomes effortless, undeniable, and lasting. Now let's move from mindset to action. The behaviors and strategies that older men use to trigger attraction in younger women almost effortlessly. These aren't gimmicks or tricks. They are subtle, psychologically driven actions that create magnetic tension and desire without pushing or chasing. Most men completely overlook these, which is why they remain invisible while others get noticed immediately. First, let's talk communication. The way you speak, pause, and respond matters far more than the words themselves. Younger women are sensitive to tone, rhythm, and intention. The 2% of older men who succeed use pauses strategically. They allow silence to create curiosity. They ask questions that prompt introspection rather than simple yes-no answers, and they respond deliberately rather than react impulsively. This makes her feel seen, challenged, and intrigued simultaneously. It's an invisible pull that younger women feel before they even understand why. Next, there's emotional calibration. Most men either overreact or underreact. Older men in the top 2% maintain a subtle equilibrium. If she teases, they tease back without defensiveness. If she challenges, they respond with calm authority, not irritation. This balance communicates security, maturity, and a command of the emotional space, which younger women subconsciously crave. They aren't looking for a mirror, they are looking for a guide. Another key strategy is mystery. You never reveal everything at once. You leave gaps in the story of who you are, hinting at experiences, passions, or adventures without over-explaining. Humans, especially women, are wired to fill in gaps with imagination. When done correctly, this generates intrigue and makes her invest emotionally to understand you. It's a psychological lever most men never even realize exists. Physical cues also play a role. The rare older man uses body language to communicate confidence and control, relaxed posture, deliberate movements, controlled eye contact, and micro-expressions that signal presence. It's not about dominating, it's about occupying space intentionally and making her aware, without words, that you are a man she cannot ignore. Finally, timing is everything. Texts, calls, invitations, never immediate, never desperate. The top men allow natural ebb and flow, creating tension and anticipation. They know when to step forward and when to pull back. This subtle rhythm builds desire and makes younger women invest emotionally and psychologically. She begins to chase not because she must, but because she is genuinely drawn to the balance of mystery, confidence, and emotional resonance you project. Now we arrive at the ultimate truth about age gap attraction, the insight that separates fleeting encounters from genuine magnetic connections. Most men believe that attraction is purely about looks, money, or status. That's a myth. Real attraction, especially with younger women, is built on depth, consistency, and the unspoken emotional resonance that older men are uniquely positioned to offer, but only if they understand how to wield it. The rare older man knows that his greatest asset is not his age, his job, or even his appearance. It's his ability to project stability while remaining exciting, experienced while remaining playful, and confident while remaining vulnerable in just the right moments. This balance is magnetic. Younger women sense it instantly. It signals that you are not just another man, they sense a life fully lived, and it triggers respect, curiosity, and desire simultaneously. Maintaining this influence requires awareness and discipline. You must guard your emotional energy, never overextend yourself, and always operate from choice rather than need. Every interaction, every conversation, every gesture should communicate without words that you value yourself above all else. When she feels that, she begins to measure her own investment, subconsciously adjusting to match your level of presence and energy. It's a subtle, psychological dance that most men never even notice is happening. Another secret is consistency without predictability. She must feel safe in your stability, yet intrigued by your unpredictability. That might mean keeping your life full of purpose, passion, and pursuits outside of her attention, while allowing her glimpses into moments of spontaneity, humor, and curiosity. She notices when your energy is self-directed, and it creates a magnetic pull because it demonstrates that you are not reliant on her for fulfillment, but that she is welcome to experience the richness of your world. Finally, understand that this isn't about control, it's about presence, mastery, and emotional resonance. Younger women are drawn to men who lead subtly, who challenge gently, and who inspire without pressure. Once you internalize these dynamics, you stop chasing attraction. Instead, attraction comes to you effortlessly, naturally, and predictably. You become the kind of man who exists in that rare 2%, the one younger women are drawn to instinctively, emotionally, and continuously. This is your invitation to step into that power, to embody it, and to change the way you experience relationships forever. Stop competing with younger men. Stop forcing validation. Start mastering yourself, your energy, and your presence, and watch as attraction transforms from a struggle into a natural, unstoppable force in your life.